ani etna e wo Ctv Dwabo Jumidi so enda na pay yenda minia ba ohene wa kese bo ahene se ode enkomo no efa dayeso ni nchiremu no ede ba very revealing. Krom ha say so daye pa enti ho behia yenkoso na oso daye penchiremu biana edinde pebi na ede bre bi sukura na ede ohaw na ede bre na se waso ano prekope se de ya bibia bekoyi ede ama political grounds na ye drew so no as usual amanyo and debia meka se yesi nkunya wo ha anya se bia yenimnyansa dodo de bi but yeso ye be kire ya adwene as to the way I feel say Ghana ye man kronkron Ghana ebe fa ne ntima pa edi fra na konanim se dia e wo se ekono nti political grounds and I drew so no me penini mu odu papa na me hu so ache papa menene dikana esinkonwa enuanu mienu na yehwe animu but mprempren no ye the Deputy National Communication Officer edima the NDC and yensaka no Godwin Akugan and yensaka no yehwe anim se yenia be man so ewo the other side be cancer oba e be yi na kire na yato ankomodie ne so senior.
Yes, sir.
Long time. You say why you busy, Papa?
Yeah, this season the demands on the road, is more than the demands on air. Exactly. And so we'll spend more time with our constituency executives and the various regions and then with our branches.
Yes.
Because we've done a lot. Make us say for our communication for the past almost 4 years, we have done extremely well. And Mefa Kwenya also add all our communication team members in as both at the constituency level, at the regional, and then at the national level. It's been a wonderful, friend is saying, 4 years. And the demand too is now on more of community engagement. Senebeya yebetumi akofem na ya share ya party for crying. Na enepa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ene yemame Professor Jane Pokuwa Jimayede Ebano na yetumi ama friend say chita for no so ehu. And sometimes so no say you call various communities no so a shot omunkran ema omo ahokeka bia etumi ema edwuma na omo yendo they are doing very well. A sense so e boosti omo yi. Now sometimes so when we have time to we take the opportunity to also visit some old folks here. Sometimes because of health, because of they cannot do the things that they used to do. Exactly. You understand? So we also go there and let them know, say, we are following from their footprints, and then we will not also disgrace them. It has been a successful 3 months campaign.
That even reminds me.
Yeah.
And say recently, a more issue communication bureau. No?
Yeah.
Say money saw certain videos. Everybody wants to do something.
Exactly, and that is so wonderful. And let me tell everybody out there, say, most of the time, so who videos be abonting and maybe especially on TikTok and idea. Some are creating and Ankasa and a for free.
I see.
Based on a Nema projections, Nema a manifesto and the things that are coming up. No, everybody has an interest. Somebody may have an interest in the women's bank because it capital issues na ehano enadie. Into Ankasa etumiye video be waiting to see the next NDC administration and how she would have an opportunity to either work in the bank or to access some money.
Facility.
You get it?
Yes.
Omutumiye video efa na say besides who okada for bi so almost so omaye video say, and if you watch up this particular elections, you know, okada stories, you know, ember out to say last 4 years.
Exactly.
However, it is still in our manifesto. So they've also done some projections and then some, especially on the 24-hour economy, and how they think the 24-hour economy is going to help them and all that. So, yenya sanema we bebrea. Ninya ni nyina na eye yen na ya sanction. You see, say party eba power. A lot of people want to associate with it. And that is what we are seeing.
I see.
But that communique came out because the way or expressing or no, maybe ento wasumuye and now say the person may not communicate it as it is supposed to be.
Not quite bad communication from the party.
Inti abane sana sa uye bibi sa na in the art form na dia bounce it on us.
Okay.
Na yenchiro se there be ebi ase na wo te ase e wa ha no why ya de nanso haketo yi ebi anka yi free mu anasa anka yi ni say ya anka it so communicate what we are communicating. Ebebre so eba your officer. I have over 60 songs.
Hey.
People who have produced music for John Mahama to use. Some are from people in the military band. Some are from the police bands, prisons, and all that. You understand? And may say, it is sometimes amount for, let me also tell everybody, say, dear, or soundtrack, and I say, Bibina here and Nyoma. Just pass by our office. We'll give it to you free.
I see.
On a pen drive.
Okay.
Or pen drive now the bar fine only be so now or we'll still make sure say even if you want it on your phone on software, Daniel will be able to help you do it. And it tells me and it gives me that fever. Say BBC.
I see. BBC. As Deputy National Communication Officer, Edima NDC Amayoko, Godwin Akugan. Unima Akugan, and I just say, MD and Ryan, when it comes to the political terrain, India, he's will pay the dues. I mean, or Bonnie Homodi. Aye. Now, Yan Shem Komodiani say, this parliamentary brouhaha, and there. And let me say a center comediano efase. After all is said and done, speaker akoli say onomunko anko fie sinidine. Akobani say the majority, is it the majority or the minority? Anyway,
MPP is
the
MPP.
The MPP GG signatures, about 83 of them. Now,
before you obey to us. Let me say, even to pronounce majority or minority, you don't want to offend anybody. And that is how your friend is MPP succeeds in cowing everybody. Okay, interviewer, say Apenyo Markins, Joy FM for
yes.
Interview, and then your friend of minority leader, he wouldn't accept it and was calling names and all those things. Am I a lot of hosts like you right now? You don't even want to offend them, so you don't know how to even address them. Mesro, let's be bold and tell them what they need to do.
Oh, I have said here, and I said it here, say, based on the vote and proceedings of Parliament, of that Thursday, Speaker Emma Wade, it settles the matter.
That's it.
And it was even corrected on Tuesday.
So let's boldly call them the minority that they are.
It was corrected on Tuesday. Say, and Speaker G2 order table offices for and say what the NDC caucus was saying at the time, is what is the true reflection. And so we are safe to even describe the MPP as a minority. I know the but now I get it. Yes. All right. It says here, they are seeking to petition. In fact, on my petition, Speaker Krase on Recall House in the back, and we want to find out. And some of your communicators came here. I was finding out from them, but and you coming from the bigger space, what is their position? So to speak, concerning this particular and
thank you very much. That means for Akwenya way suna mean salute Honorable Atoforsen, majority leader. You see, this year, and as I said, this 4-year term, and as the 8th Parliament, Nyamia Ghana for Nyama Bibre. The first lesson or the buy and say we must be able to work together if indeed we want to build this nation. In fact, for the NDC side, initially for the first 3 years, to accept the position of minority is because we learned from the hard way that we need to work together. And Kenya 137, you can't tell anybody say, or a minority. And that single independent person could not make a party a majority because it's not a member of the. But we accepted, say, let's work together. After all, near our president, if in a side, let's allow it to go. That is the level of unity. Your side, yene NPP, at in parliament. This year, and I said this 8th parliament, is the first time who said deputy speaker who is sitting in the chair. Sorry if you chair because I'm running say if you are sitting on the speaker's chair, we your friends saying a middle person referee. You don't partake in that. But they bulldoze their way to have that thing done.
And the Supreme Court affirmed it.
Exactly. And you see, the kind of Supreme Court that we have today, what you are saying, sometimes it saddens me. And the truth is, say, and you may be a omo ya mo feel say you're right, it will come back to hunt omo ankasa. Ebi and say shahai last the 7th parliament. Michael Kwe, Eyusu Emrawe ya Ede Pamu Obia also a co-independent. 4 years time, Obi Eyusua. Would the author horse daddy? It was wrong then, so it must be wrong now. Who determines when it is wrong or not? And MPP always wants to have their way in anything because they feel they have a backing of a Supreme Court. A kind of Supreme Court, Sabin Preduasa, Obi Eba Umemu Ababeye, your friend is saying investment, and that's Obabe BBTSA. There are a lot of things that they look out for. One, the security in the country. 2, the opportunities in the country. The labor force, because everywhere in the world will be up a cheap labor. And most importantly, how do you respect your laws? And what are the judgments of our courts? A lot of businesses will not come to Ghana because when him say, Ghana ni enya asema, yebedi etiano. So they want a friend is saying, baby, the legal regime favors everything. And I say, the judges have a sense of responsibility and not looking at colors and all that. Sophia Kufu recently said, say, somebody who has been a member of the Supreme Court, and in fact has led the Supreme Court before, also, more Supreme Court one in the I said, you are too predictable. And when somebody tells you that you are predictable, it is a fine way of not insulting you. Because, say, maybe when him, na minim ruling na or the beba will I come. I won't. If I can predict you, say, many MPP ninya semne ko Supreme Court and ne results ebebenia. Then no, rather I'll put the laws into my hand rather than go and tell me the things that I know you are going to tell me. These are the problems.
Is it the same kind of communication Kandapa so the two just
exactly? Kandapa say, if consistently you are ruling for us, it is bad. It is bad precedent. And it is even going to affect our security. And when they say something is going to affect your security, what they mean is people begin to put their friend is saying the law into their own hands instead of relying on the courts. And these people that I'm talking of are seasoned people. Recently, a friend is saying Atubiga. Atuguba, sorry, former yes, friends, Justice of the Supreme Court, also mentioned this thing. Why is it to say even their own people are now worried about how the nation is moving. How do we break this? How do we stop this? And I think, say, with this current ruling, almost everybody, I'm yet to see friends, the senior lawyers of the MPP speaking on this matter. That one alone to tell you, say, so if the Supreme Court will take a break and look at some or listen to some of the things that people have said, and people who mean well for Ghana, people who mean well for the Supreme Court, the least person that would, debrace the Supreme Court will be Atuguba or it will be Sophia Ekufu. The last people, because they know how the standard is. They will not even go that way. So when they come out talking like this, it should be a wake-up call for them. Not because NDC is coming to power and it's the same people who are going to be there. Not at all. But you see, we must be seen to be responsible for a united Ghana. In fact, if not for MPP for a movie out of Yina, decided yes, everybody is going to insist on sitting at the majority side. And Ankabasa is here. Will you blame the Supreme Court or you blame the members of Parliament? Everybody will blame the Supreme Court. Because so back to what I was saying, we have sacrificed a lot as a minority side. Lead along. There are a lot of things that I said you boom radical, and some of it we deliberately decided, say, we know we are going to lose the vote, but we'll stand and lose the vote with one vote difference. Senegal posterity will tell us, say, when you brought this thing, we stood against it. It's in Yankopon Eddie Afofi. Now, this lesson, say, this hung parliament, was bringing us some united AEB to me, Eddie Jumabua or my Ghana. Now it is your time to succumb. It is your time to make sure, say, we can still work together. Though per the decision of 3 members on your side and 1 member from our side, it has forced us to be on the minority side. If you believed in the cooperation that the NDC cooperated with you, you would be the last people to even stand and say no, we are going to walk out. You would have taken the minority position and ensured, say, we'll still partner so that nothing will be hindered, especially on the issues of governance. And nobody is taking that position to, how should I put it, say, you destroy your friend is a NDC and I say, especially with a friend is a press conference, be so many documents, be say a DND. Sebi, we are not in to destroy the government or to halt anything. These are things that are reality. Minority position, you understand? And this should teach every politician a lesson. Today, you will be there. You will call yourself majority leader. You will call yourself president. You will call yourself, your friend, and say, name them, former minister, former what. A time will come that the tables will turn again.
Exactly.
So if you don't post...
na ye twen no wahana we former constituency chairman edima the good people of Okankwi South essence a former Greater Accra research and electoral officer edima the same party and then we member of the communication team the new patriotic party MPP Amayokuro Mr. Rexford AJ Frimpong the BI na yaneno ehwiboma senior Bogode.
Nyamiado.
The late Rexford and I say
the ever present Rexford. Ever present.
All right. Unia bema na nugu asem so nti owia meba oso na onso wa share.
Intino as politicians we should know and always cite ourselves say the tables will by almost 10. Okay, you bet to about a chinabia. You benya a full majority in opposition and the president in power.
Executive.
What I say, it's possible because it was so close this time. In fact, we won a lot of seats and Kenya violence. Everybody so a year. We would have been your friend is saying majority in parliament. You get it. Yeah. Me, the first time that I was elected a national officer, I knew say there will be a day you be frame formal national executive. So my relationship with people now must work out to a situation. Even when I'm not in office again, that relationship will still be there. So that is an advice I'm giving to Apeno Markets. Because for you to go through all this, just because you don't want to accept the minorities, your friends say, status are when you're here. Intersectional, more free, like majority signatures, I must say, speaker, and free. Yes, next 2 weeks, speaker be free. More where are you going to sit? What I say, and no more no ebeye amemene you get it? Because now only media for echo, don't call me minority, don't call me minority. International minority position now, how will we call you? Once a no will look more disrespectful than if you had accepted it. And this week, I waste. And in next week, so a be a waste, and keep it to their government business.
Yeah, because originally Parliament was supposed to rise somewhere November 11th or so.
Because the last 3 weeks,
Yes.
Obi had the campaign, and we are shebre muasem. What you say? Because there was seat to be or what? You have a different BP for some. It is all corner or exactly. Into those MPs, there's some corner at the end of my.
This is Akobani saying, and yesterday we engaged some of your MPs, and they are saying that they don't see needless, like sadly, it's very difficult for them to return back to.
No, when you call, you come. You see, but the thing is that you have wasted this week. Next week, let's say you have 7 days. What you are saying, if you want to recall a year, to inform everybody to come. Internet party 7 working days, And to me, Maso. Your friend is saying because they don't sit on Tuesdays.
Like they don't sit on Mondays.
They don't sit on Monday. They come on Tuesdays. You get it. Now, Patrick said there are 4 days. In this half 4 days, so into me Emma so next week. Now the next week it means you are going to sit for 1 week. Next say near man so bad. Bosso. And na some mistakes in near man. Yedi. It is a cho say pe say. Adia we na enim and amodi ababeshemwa and no dear we can't sit on this one. Go back to the committee level and go and start it all over again. Let us say no so and ewo ho inti mimpre ne mink yent mi friend minority leader and the 2 weeks waste yi aba ti akoya na say for me be
corporate and
yes corporate, but the only thing they say the majority status are ye crown is here no. And Nona will not joke with it, what he has said. But will not do anything that will hurt Ghana.
All right.
As friends, as our beloved country.
I see. All right. There was comrade Godwin Akugan and ordained on Sunin Chimu, Edia Baifa, and Samuel Echego Ewo Parliament. I mean, Penny Rexford, also what is happening? They say, Mo Siki, the NPP, Metre, a Siki for Speaker to recall the House to come and deal with some very, very important bills and some other, kind of saying, tax exemptions. Very important, and Jumedia was on Bedi, and as per the letter, and Rayesu Yansa can be Waha from the second deputy whip for the MPP side, the minority side, so to speak, So, where are we heading towards?
Yo, many can share what chef and what thief want to pay. Say sometimes say and this is for I can't send beer. as if the whole Ghana as if said the whole laws, the whole system is like they are doing and people are just disturbing them. You see, let's be realistic. We are practicing constitutional democracy, making the constitution the paramount final authority. And the interpretation thereof also has been captured to be done by the Supreme Court. You see, the court's rulings, it's not everybody that will agree with it. Everybody is bound to accept it. See, so when you go out there, say, media, they be attack you on the way I say, the way they are always doing this for MPP for you know, it is not healthy, and it is not responsible political positioning. Adiba, me catch Tuesday, near war. You are with yourself, I don't catch you and say, look, I'm from Marky Baby and Sunka. Speaker Gbabin is going to concede and accept whatever directives come from the Supreme Court. Why? Because that is the way it is. You see, so they can say, and Professor Michael Kwe, time, there was a similar incident. But you know very well that there is different circumstances. And there is a major point where more saying in a dream as a political parties, you know, now you pay in the Puma Sibre. Professor Michael Kwe, you know, difference the woman say. The party rights to the speaker say we ye free and ho. Even that the speaker has to call the MP no say, oh, do you contest the issue? No, say, oh, there be majority. You see, that is the rule of natural justice. You don't just adjudicate on some issue without even listening to the person, those involved. What is MP before? What is you know MPs you know? Now, there was a similar, yes, to think about it. What does it? With political parties, at some time, we can do so many strategic moves. Maybe I can say, Kofali, we mame, independent, we were. Maybe I can say, that is why you need me to tell you the way no mapamolo. There are people who are MPPs, fully one, but their role is to be NDCs. You see, some of these things, you know, and they know that. That's naturally how it's done. Now you're free. You understand? Until one to me, no so. Until I make us a mremuno. There should be a basis for every ruling or for every case. Say, where the abase wapamono is no more. And where's what you have to say, my free party no more. Article we know 97 we know Gina can was say 97. Yes, so free the party no and as a party no pamono. So any of the two issues will happen. Now, what Afenyomarkin is doing will help all of us. Let's get a clarity on that ambiguous. We say what constitutes leaving your party, what constitutes crossing carpet. Let's get it clear because we have had precedences. The first one was DFN and time. When Kokoma and his attack was only one party when they were, but they fought and then kicked him off. Yes. But I remember, but someone was so much against it, he doesn't support that position, although they accepted to do it that way. Now, the next one that happened was Duajahu. Went there, you know, in Lower Maya. Yes. Left and filed. Yes. But nobody touched him. You know why? Because NDC never wrote that we've sacked him. Because he never wrote to Parliament to tell them that I've left NDC. No, that be make us say. I mean, me call two presidencies are abano. So anyway, and so they share two different issues. It is very important, sir. You be to me a ruling and as understanding for all parties going forward. There's another clause. It makes us say, oh, be free party muna say or call independence player and also contest against the party automatically loses membership. Is that law? These are certain things we need to establish. Law? The law is that you should write to him, say, why are we here? You maybe our explanation.
Political party.
In America, say these are some of the challenges that needs to. In America, say there are issues that all the parties need to address legally, so that we'll be in a proper positioning. In Tosha, it's a very solid exercise. Say, you bet me in going forward. Let's just say, BB. Na as a political party say hey we me person pamo no dia this is me troko and I say man try nko dia he can be there so that we all have that understanding. And say a speaker will say this and answer we basically can't win. It's I believe say what the Supreme Court did is perfect because they said, oh, borders on interpretation. That is our turf. I don't know your idea. Yes, but say your issues in Parliament, we don't have something to do with that one. But when you are coming to infringe on somebody's rights, and then you are interpreting the law to apply it, that interpretation should come from the Supreme Court. So we say near patchere, and but want to mean interpreting law no and find without the Supreme Court.
Do you think that the speaker was interpreting the law, or
yes,
he was doing what exactly almost standing orders tells him to do in Order 18?
Yes, what was
the Order 18 state say, say mrashe bedwani no vacate ni seat ya. On my indication say onko sedia ni nko for 2 man bear.
What were you saying on my indication? So what my indications were?
The speaker explained in his ruling that day, say Oboechire with electoral commission because he wanted to satisfy. That is why he asked for 2 days.
Did he ever write to the party or to the
that one we cannot say for
he did fact. Not. Nameka said that is the only thing. We deal here. I have to get we say Parliament is a house of records. So how will you say oh Matisse wako file with based on that and I'm taking this decision?
And yes, also what to say Oboechire share and easy confirm indeed say.
So why not ask the person who is sitting right with you? You understand? Now make us say, look, let me tell you a situation. One day we can have a speaker here. You want to place matter. Wow, Matisse say we cram party money na continue you nefi on just have our court. Next year that time no, he will be abusing that power.
Aren't we overstretching?
No, we can do that. Because we sometimes expel people from the party. But if you are not doing negotiating. You see the party things like that happened.
Yeah.
So what by next week be negotiations going on underground, no? As not just any partner could be more. You see why you need to ask the person and also ask the party involved. Oh, maybe there be kasa, negotiate BB, a friend of mine, it has to go to this and this and this committees and things like that. Finally, if we cannot resolve it, then we'll take a decision. But that has not happened. That is where the whole issue is there. Until say you be to me na yama say to me na the individual involved. I don't want somebody to be judged without his consent. I don't think it's right.
Fair hearing.
Fair hearing. You must at least hear. Even auditors grab all this vehicle and my fund is they want your comments. Why? That's a law, natural justice.
But say it's in Komodiani says it's almost the NPP side, the minority side is
seeking for recall.
A recall.
Yeah, because you will never be say within this short time. Now when it's
people have said they say aden na man tenase sa dano a brandano.
Entina de nya ma wonka. You see, we have what is right and what is expedient. Expediency cannot be overlooked in a house of records just for sacrificing what is right. Na make us say and the presidency is now banning both negative and positive. It's about time. The issue no bar. Okay, speaker cannot rule because then you say this is what it means. That's all. So let's use that opportunity. And I don't know why and this is rushing to be a majority. Open majority. A police station on here no. Campaign majority. This week's I would rather put in more effort on the ground. Then me, make what we do our form. I campaign and you're more majority. Oh, and yes, majority no better than but who best say a democracy? See, we are laying the precedences and we are setting something that we can all be proud of. So say you should hear the right thing. The right thing must be done. Say because of who say we lose. In telling you, I did we lose grabbing majority. When you go pay just 6 weeks big a crime, you for 6 weeks be. I just say, me fire no so when you me. No, of course. Well, into some of those things, but I think we look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
And is it inuring to the benefit of the larger picture of Ghana's democracy and our future? Ningina, into me, development. Just say we failed. It doesn't matter what happens. Then the see not because of a no, yet to me, better future. So it is worth it. I keep on asking there, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Gan, where I don't know, so
quick about you see, first of all, no, I'll say last 4 years, the party had to write and all those things. Where is it stated in the constitution? Say, yeah, a friend is saying the party has to write. There's nothing like that. That was the approach they decided to take. What you are saying. And our approach, and they say, we would petition Parliament per the Constitution. He cited your friend is saying another example, I think a friend is saying with NDC, where somebody was going independent who was not sacked. If you decide to say you are sleeping on your responsibility, we would not cry for you.
You help him to sleep.
Exactly. It was something that was available to you to explore. You didn't. And internally, so we had issues. We had issues with that. Because Obekaya, our founder was alive.
Yes.
Our founder was supporting one faction. The party to us another A.
Yes.
You get it.
Exactly.
So we're silent on it. However, you could have triggered it. You didn't. Secondly, and I say finally on this one, who is the MPP fighting for?
Oh,
the three people.
The four. And
I will just say, if it is the four, Kwachiaka, who is on our side, I admit to say, or no dear, this is the path that is going. It is a Musu Uncle Tenefia Hano, because he's going to prepare as an independent candidate.
Yes, waka severally.
Exactly. So whom MP? My friend or say Wapon Enya dia Obabekam because another pray remove him on their WhatsApp platform.
Yes, I listened to that interview too.
Net as a mukrade, Masa kilogram and soon credible phone, so Gramas Asaki soon. Mamle Aguna West. Or say, Enya dia meba back because of a Niama Mwankasa Modi Ayeme. Menso Socrano, where you near from platforms. TMisa say, after all this, who are they fighting for? The people that you have sacked, the people that you said that because of position of taking into when was the last time a more caucus meeting I'm offering one?
But what was you signed the number page in it?
Yes, when they saw say Omutuechi, it's an Yamfano Emraso, Senebeya, they will have a case. Not just even before Parliament took this position, more as a caucus, more as a party, more you needed that. You get it.
Anyway,
these are some of the things Mecca say.
Okay.
MPP, I said they want to eat their cake and still have it. You can't do that.
Mami bisa opinion quick one on this, and I remember a race. So people have said they say and more affirm to go to Supreme Court to more or less seek for injunction on Speaker Nana Montua way to no one side. But people are more interested, and personally, I am interested in the move by the AG now. Now the AG is going straight to the Supreme Court to seek for proper interpretation to that particular 97 one on the so that do you think it's good for the future? Say correct some of these things.
Well, there's nothing that's going to be corrected, you see. But it will also be good for academic exercise.
Okay.
Because there's no ambiguity. Plain. You understand?
Okay.
But you see, the Supreme Court as they are today, and no people who want to see what will come out of it. But in fact, there's no ambiguity in the law.
I see.
We are also so everywhere. Now, a friend is a Afenyo Mackenzie. Ultimately, says sometimes maturity is needed in some of these things. What you are saying? I've heard people saying, say, Osechi Mensa Bonsu handle the things better, according to Omwankasa MPP caucus, handle things better than what Apenyo is doing. I'm not in their caucus. I can't speak for anybody. But looking at how, within a short time, was a somewhat journey because you're walking out. Parliament has been called off, and that's a Senate day, agenda Senate day. Nepa say, "We realize it, and after who say, hey, there's government business to do. Okay, let's get signatures." And I say, if you are gathering signatures, there are laws attached to it. There are laws attached to it. It will take you 7 days. Couldn't it have been solved better than to do the thing that he did? Needless.
I see.
But Omwankasana, yes, your friends say, walk off about you, Wankasa Uji.
You. Rex, the same question I may be so. Say, Anamoa AG 2CC, in your own a good beboa for the future to settle some of these things once and for all, and now say at the same.
Say sometimes we try to arrogate to ourselves authority even over the legal practitioners and over the Supreme Court and things like that. Look, no matter what, you have to give it to them that look, that is their turf. I agree. And that is what we have agreed that whatever they bring out, we will accept. Yeah. It is important, not because of the individuals involved, but because of the constitution nature. Because there are so many people who have been jailed elsewhere in different jurisdictions for years, 50 years later, they discover that it's wrong.
That's true.
But it doesn't mean that they should undermine the constitution, the laws of the country. No. Because it is possible for so many things to happen. But they look at all that and still agree that their decision should be sacrosanct, so that we can have one way. That's why they can tell you that the elections was done by EC, but we are declaring that you give it to Mahama. Everybody else accepts. No matter how much you disagree, you see, that is what makes it very important, that we can all agree behind something. So if there is something that we don't understand, like I was saying earlier on, and they are going to make it clear, so there's no ambiguity in our minds and hearts. Look, I've listened extensively to so many, including some luminaries, even the NDC legal fraternity. And they've made their points. And they, almost all of them, concluded in the need to clear the table once and for all. Because once we have that, there's no more issues again.
I've also read an article from Professor Sari, US.
Okay.
He's been following Ghana and legal jurisprudence in and some issues about up. He's always had some very interesting. He also.
But there have been very beautiful submissions and missives, which I think it is healthy for us. Now, or can be say a free platform so we can be say. Political parties have so many ways. I've been a research officer for the region, which means we undertake a lot of negotiations behind the scenes. You understand? So I know that when things happen, it is not conclusive. When it's conclusive, the only way you know that somebody has been removed from a party is you write to him officially. And you don't do a word of mouth.
You see, my problem with this
Rex,
particular...
I don't want to interject, but Mr. Rewa, have you written to your friend saying Alan Cash?
Who says no?
You haven't written to him. According to him.
How will you know? I am saying according to him. No. How will you know? You understand? And then how will you know whether we have even another arrangement with him? You see, there are certain things that is at the party's chest. I can't come and tell you my internal workings.
I see.
You understand? That's the where I want the we to give that thing to the party.
I don't know
that allow them to be able to play. If they said, "Oh, we finished with Cynthia Morrison now, Speaker, this is it. We have nothing to do with it." Then you have a basis to say, or Cynthia writes. If Cynthia said if he's taking off leave and she wants to leave, why would she write to Speaker that, "Oh, I'm leaving this place"?
But no, they own to
but
me.
my issue,
why not?
My issue
if you are leaving, you have to officially write to Speaker.
Everybody naturally wants to eat his cake and have it.
Oh, why not?
But constitution, the constitution of the Article 3.9.
Yes.
Talking about for future of membership.
Yes.
which is clear.
Say,
the moment you are supporting
the constitution of every party should not be against the national constitution. You see, cannot go against natural justice. And those provisions are there because so why do we bring so many people? No, we bring them to you summon them to committees. Trust me.
No, but so I've interviewed.
There are so many who are invited. If you decide not to come, but they give you a hearing.
Also, no crowd. They in birthday.
People can say things. Send part to me cancel. What they say. And you know, at the end of the year, what I want us to understand, say, we should have clear-cut legal procedures and processes. Send here, we see. We just don't have to assume, but it must be clear-cut.
But you see, we must have. Friends, we must know there are consequences for everything.
Of course,
when I decide to go for independent, I must not automatically say, me free party.
Oh, no.
You understand? There are consequences.
No. People take decisions. I know people who have gone out of the party. There have been negotiations. They've come back.
Yes, but not at the time. You're printing notice of post.
If you could have last,
because they say you cannot even redraw it. In this background now, you have two candidates on your sheet.
It doesn't matter. But
it matters.
Anyway, we take that decision from the party and from the individual.
Okay.
It is not lawful because the person needs to be heard.
But they have not complained.
The party is complaining.
No.
It's the party that's complaining, right?
No. The people involved who have left are not complaining.
No. It's not the people. The thing is the party. They didn't buy her. None of them has brought a letter that I'm.
All right.
For
my strength of imagination, Akofa forms.
It doesn't mean anything.
Apiki.
Sign it because your mouth first copy now. Everything is fine.
Exactly.
If everything is fine, you sign against it to show so you can go ahead and bring.
That's about your future elections. It has nothing to do with your current status.
But for me, for me, the current situation,
we as a party can decide to even remove somebody for doing nothing. It's a decision of the party.
Ctv Dwabo Godwin, Comrade Godwin Akugan, where Deputy National Communication Officer at the NDC Amayuku, Sansuna Miwo, Penny Rexford, J. Frimpong, former constituency chairman at the Ukankui South, former Greater Accra Research and Electoral Officer, Prim the way. Communication team member Edima Amayuku no and me no mo sinkunya wa ha me pese share NCC report yaba na ye ka ho asem and the aspects am pese nyina ye twen agye na ye di ho nkomo any debate about the report no say 90% of people in fact the citizens no say omodie election related violence the omani nje ho. Then again 84, and these are nominal figures, 84 our actually say womu de are ready. And I think that to have 84 people in this country thinking that we are ready for electoral violence there is serious, and we need to be worried as a nation. I don't know about you, Rex, but I mean, if I want statistics, I'm
going to say 94, say
90% to say
violence, NDC4 no. And 84 as NDC4 no. The minority. Now this is clear cut.
And you know,
very clear cut. So, out of this 84, say, look,
Rex, out of this 84, no cry. The who no cry say 24 of them, and Mark 24 say, we are ready for electoral violence.
And I make sure, sir. Omo ekachiremo dibia and this ekachiremo say, yeah, we have a revolutionary beginnings, and so out of violence we have a monopoly of violence, and moya idea between and they've been threatening every day. They've been making all these things over the years, so it's no news. Yeah, na.
But when you see MPP, I said,
let me just say,
Timemu for ne kasai.
Timemu for ne other MPP or
but Oman kasai.
They are only seen before.
Afa Franto new force Bibia Obia
And only negligible figures.
But is it not worrying? Is it not worrying? Say you to have 24 of these 84 numbers, no? So much you say electoral violence, dear.
We need to take the blame as political parties. Sometimes our utterances. We share social media. We have your marketing. Dr. Tifosi. In the baby, the market travel almost no so over here and a party down. But you see, that's normal. That's how it's supposed to be. Lawyers go to court and argue as if they are enemies. But my colleague that just say, and that is what the ordinary man on the street doesn't understand. So we as political parties owe it to the people to tell them, say, look, it is not like that. We have to maybe strongly emotionally defend a certain stance. But it doesn't mean physically we are enemies or we're fighting or we want to cause that kind of chaos. Sometimes at the height of emotions, you know, man want to make it cancer baby, and the both sides will be able to make it cancer baby. But you see, as a nation, I think the NCC needs to keep on bringing the awareness of the leadership and the parties to some of these utterances. And no, who say was the norm. Share, see, I say, baby, answer the one. The youth are now very high numbers. We have a very high numbers of youth in this country now. And you know, say, who can send be? Or not the one tears yes, or can say, oh, that's share. I didn't see them all showdown. Or say, hey, any Quacokuntoqua. No, so I will read them. But meanwhile, that was not even what you mean at all. And you know, near here, Pan say, as NCC, you know, they should up their game. And Peace Council, so they need to start calling people to address some of these issues. You call the parties, I get a party in Quran and they say, oh, I say, look, we know that we don't mean what you are saying, but please, the youth out there are following your utterances, are following your dictates, and you know, you are giving a very wrong signal, and it can lead us all into chaos. So it's about time we all act responsibly, so that within the next 2 days, oh no, then we douse it with water and cool it down. So that the youth will say, oh, okay, normal politics, it's not about that. But until we start to do this consciously, then we are setting ourselves for danger. Rwanda, it was just a media house announcing that, oh, these are cockroaches, cut them. They said it so forcefully that they really started cutting the hairs and the arms of the people. You understand? And I will use this opportunity to also say this about the media. I know now the social media does not come through you. So they do worse things there, which you don't have a hand in it.
Exactly.
But you can also have a hand in correcting, in balancing the status quo. There are certain things, you know, we need to be more educative, and we should stop the hyping of certain negative things. Sure, I didn't see parliament here. I see it as a normal thing. But the way it was done, people were even afraid, hey, do you know what is coming to happen? I said, we're a good parliament. There's nothing like that. These are colleagues, friends, and things like that who have different opinions. They're going to argue it out.
Some of them cry no.
It's not about war. You understand? But the people have different impressions.
Yes.
Sometimes they say, when if the parents are arguing, once the name is one say, oh, it's about Ntokwa Babisi. But it's not like that. You understand? So the same way, we need to be responsible enough to go down there and correct the impressions we erroneously create.
Odo anu si no share figures ni bi wa ha che say omo ye omo busa timemfo no omo trust in the electoral commission. Now see 55% and do 60 55% and omo say omo ogidi e wo the electoral commission. O de justaposi onu mu a omo say omo de omo nya electoral, they are ready for any electoral violence. Is there any correlation? Trust for the EC.
You see, and also a cajon in the full violence. Well, some of our utterances, former President Mahama can say, you see, you have to attack the referee, you do all this, and then preparing, say, when you lose, then you have a basis for challenging the results. That was in earlier on, 2016. No coalition. That's the position. Sometimes I wonder whether it's the same thing he wants to do now. Because when you take on the electoral commission and try to discredit it, sometimes even unjustifiably. Sometimes to his natural issues like Mississippi, human errors and system challenges. But then you want to use it, you know consciously that you are doing that to ferment problems, to incite people. And that is why those things, because they don't even know the workings of the Electoral Commission. But in some way, based upon that, they are making those decisions. And trust me, politics, if you cannot help the country, you should not destroy it.
Okay.
Your utterances especially. Your utterances especially. And I will plead with the NDC say, Munyai, et trust some dear. It means there will be people within NDC, they will fight with
NDC Ambo party.
Baby, I know in America. And me catch us. Some of the one catch us. Yes, some of the catch us. Some of the more revolutionary background. You know, more dear. To trust them. But MYN.
Okay.
What I say, as a people, no MYN. And you know, mommy and yai. Yanya some pedding country for for. You show me cry say. Him. Maybe see biana ye. And yamia kwa. And yamina see him. And yamisuna etu. And this yami the obeyeno. Yes, you are even undermining God's essence.
Exactly.
Because all you be mean.
Your bites on this matter.
You see, the way I shall say the beer already and name it. But once an orca say, at to force and a pay your markets.
Yes.
Are very close. The beer a come. But these are the same people that Ombekwako shade tree. Na omo Kenya nkrofo se monko ye bibi.
Yes.
On Tuesday, who they are not on prayer a year. Supporters, ask yourself, what is the mindset? Especially when the Ghana police at the statement about Bontain, Parliament itself at the statement about Bontain. In Sanka, Mesoso. Me basi party supporters are. Your parliament dem ho. Ebi a ye nom coffee. Na abonten ho na nke judge them. You understand?
Yes.
Secondly, when we have a president who says to say, I will not hand over to John Mahama. I will not hand over. So when that comment comes, me, I'd want to prove to you, Sir Apostle Obi James. And no another violent mentality ever. Mpenifo say, Eka de oni entumankwa anka de bia ye gro atofo. Person de ense akade ne de agro. Na anka yi nyina ye den ye namu. You see, this research work, is very detailed. And my who say, averagely, Ghana for MP Basabasa.
Yes, that's true.
And very true.
Yes, Ghana for naturally no MP Basabasa.
I like that peace of mind.
But you see, however calm a cat is, uti ani bodu yasoa. So okra na woman eduane di kra na obebo anaso betim. That is why our comments and our actions must be seen to be very responsible. That is why when people, especially when the judiciary, especially the Supreme Court, when they are making rulings, they sometimes look at the sentiments of the nation and sana pronounce it. Sometimes they intentionally even delay some rulings. Senebeya nipa akuma ehuru no ebeba form and sana ruling nimpo aden ababeto ho.
Yes.
That is why we need mature people in leadership, either at the executive, the legislature, or at the judiciary. The level of people with gray hairs these days are aiding kwadasem, either on radio, on TV, and Oh, no. Oh, I beg you. I will never disrespect you. Me and you, I beg you.
No.
I mean, yes. In the judiciary, legislature,
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
you know, yes, I beg you. I will never go. I beg you. I beg you. You understand? If you look at people, Anka will be expected, Anka. Because what you said, I know it's a joke. Your conclusion were just mere jokes.
Yeah.
You understand? But people with some responsibilities.
That's true.
Now, comment to be
responsible.
No, be say.
I know it.
Exactly. And you see, Safu and so no. Do na be ana owo. Your friend is saying this be on the passport. Me no me enu a ye ni baby a ekono. Then we are in the middle of the firefight.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
I'll use this opportunity to talk to the 84 people and their likes. Okay? I know people who tell me passionately, Ako, semu jeja mo na se lusu silation where ya de mu be fra MPP follow na de be jemu nyina no. People say it.
Yes, emotions.
Yes, then that is how the emotions work. Into so when ya abotre and country ne say wo so what na se ma ye wia yen wo police station e de na wan kasa de be ye wo.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So these are some of the things. There are people like that. You understand?
Yes.
Into as a friend is saying, a nation, no, we must be seen to be talking to ourselves, knowing, say, there are better days ahead. All those who follow my writings, sometimes even in pain, I write, there are better days ahead. Because that is the only thing I be catch or say, Jaimenka, Nebia, near Ebabesi, it may destroy you. But Nyankopon cry then, you way free. Despite Kronwa MPP board 2020, and then 4 years ababedru. Yet say. You understand? Sebia anka basabasaye esi 2020 na. Ebi anka by this time, radio station ya shutting up. With savings I want can even take you just about 2 months.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yes.
But then yawaha ye didi yakoba.
Yes.
So this is why people must have and you bet me edu some pempens one is so. Politics must not also look like your friend say life and death. For many people, and especially the MPP and the young crowd for Omemuhano, Amano Kwako say life and death. Because so Obia Oye Juma Ewo Bank and Ne Ton Queen Wokumasia. Obe wunu say, my battle it means so much to me, and it is job related. Most of us, especially in Ghana, say table no tennis is here, it be rich, or be poor is here. A tennis is here, obi juma, a bebono, obi juma. You see, that is how our politics has been. And nuna the violence near the eba. Because you will be on national security or sheno. On him say, and what pieces here are coffee. It is quite be also be defending party to say, you say no, obey defend this party the better now. Because Bosumeswa, the 3,000 and I say 5,000 media, as a sonia.
The ones who pay her question is making sure say
exactly. Miss we making sure and to me drew baby crabby to be crabby so I say hey inti yaba power position men are open. Can you imagine? Imagine life and death people know. One Macau must say your mama say ministers no cry sister pe. Inti no cry no regional ministers no cry a 16 deputy state 2 you way free. You get it. Exactly. So that is how the situation is and that is what is making people go to the extent that they are going. But you see, I'm praying, sir. People will have a life. It doesn't depend on the government in power. Nejuma emono. When we are able to get that a year, next you are looking more at policies. Yes. If I am an importer, na me hwe taxation ena dia meka say there be me pobi a oba ma taxes no aba from kakra edema me se me obi so abi a me ye friend is saying production and now say me exporter so a wonim say dollar e cost ru beberebe exporters re
good basa
en fact hano
because it's double your money.
It's doubling his money. But when we are depending on other countries bringing us stuff,
that discussion must be made.
Yeah.
We need to make that discussion.
Intino, sa enema ina enema. Sebe. People will see say me party lose power me woo. The moment that mindset is there, no. Oka say ni pakro treat you krana or better. That is where you step on the tail of a cat. That's it.
All right.
Just a small thing. Also, we need to accept the fact that people have the right to be wrong. Sometimes, it will be. I don't know what to say. I'm not a naba.
Yes,
he has that right. He's wrong. He has that right to be wrong. You see, until we come to accept that, I did it 2 years. But it's the people, and we need to respect them. Why be wrong to you? But it is their mandate, and they can. Vote. But sometimes we go too much extreme. I don't know what to say. No, it is just if you want to here, in the next time say me koko, me no kasa more. But when you I still believe say if the political parties can start becoming more responsible in talking to ourselves, in talking to our people, now we advise people, we explain, say, it is for the welfare of the whole populace. Try. It's not about the violence. But sometimes someone say, it's no more even about the issues. It's not about the policies, but it's about one and one thing. When we do that, we are giving the wrong signal to the youth, especially the young people. And there are a large number of them. If we cannot help the many that are poor, we can't help the few that are rich. You can't save the few that are rich. You see, that is yes, social interventions, say, say, to me, Emma Obi is not dependent upon the outcome of elections. Life is not dependent upon that. Then we have arrived. Then our politics will have arrived. But say, hey, whether I will live or die depends on who wins or who loses. Then it's not good enough.
Yeah.
I think we need to up our game. We need to start talking to ourselves. We need to start having, especially from the political parties levels, so that the people will understand clearly, say, oh, okay, and yes, so much violence oriented. Of course, but when we come out to speak to the people, let's give them that abuto. Say, we are one people.
Exactly.
We are all working together for the welfare of everybody.
Exactly.
We, the political party, will survive. They, the people, too, will be happy with us. Somebody will lose, somebody will win.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the end of the world. And the most beautiful thing in Ghana policy, sometimes people in NDC crowd benefiting more when NDC is in power. Right? Trust me, I know some of them who are doing so well when we came, and then even better than some of us who say we are in power.
All right.
And then when it tends to, trust me, it's also happening the same thing. So
anyway.
Is it why they fight?
Exactly. All right. We've had a very, very good discussion, and I am the pass. Penifon so enyina 2 years for say the elections na ye kono kwato aba at the end of the day one person will win. It could be John Dramani Mahama, it could be Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and then the nation would have to move on.
That's all.
Na Bibian so and Konenim said ya Maminda Rexford J. Frimpong, former constituency chairman for the good people of Ukankwe South. Sanso no former Greater Accra Research and Electoral Officer Edima MPP Amayoko ni mpempren de okasa mapa Edima MPP ewo Kredrimo ha Sanso na Comrade Godwin Akugan Deputy National Communication Officer Edima NDC Amayoko no na ono nso ebe cancer de nim de ebe boa jumedie no. All right, director yenye birthdays no na Friday enisi eche wa ha. A chana enema ye normal enti ye birthdays no na yen sorry so quickly the wo no ye Ruth Akpachu and there na woda we Church of Pentecost Ruth Akpachu that why ready I nante Ruth Akpachu of Pentecost Church Bethany Assembly Elang and there na woda we free Dauda eho eneba Dauda say wish you long life and prosperity with good health. The Lord bless you and keep you. Ti we free Dauda ho ena odiaba Ruth Akpachu. Okay. Die di ho ye Ebenezer Odey a wo oye adwuma wo Kotoka International Airport. That is out Minka. Ebenezer Odey oye adwuma ewo Kotoka International Airport. We free Samuel Credible eho ena eba or say may God bless him and with long life and good health, more money. We need Empire Samuel Credible Ebo Edema Ebenezer Odey. All right. We did this war a year. Happy birthday Edema Mr. BB Ansa of Bubuashi. Mr. BB Ansa of Bubuashi, Muzama Disco Crystal Church, and the Udina Woda. We free Nehukeni Mrs. Marian B Ansa, any Nemba, Mami Efua Parkwesi, any Irabna, any Amma Nanama, Eho Aneba, Edema Womo Papa, any Nikunu. Or send a message, me bonamin kind of or say, may all your wishes come to pass. May the good Lord grant you long life. We love you as our dad and my husband. We free oyeriho and eba any umba. Die diho Prissy Equia Adia Pena Himans. Prissy
and what did Facebook say?
Oze.
What did Facebook?
What did Facebook? Prissy Equia Adia Pena Himans. And the Ewa Wuda. And we wish you well. Happy birthday to you. And Yankupon Koswa in Shira Nejumadia. Oh, yeah. The Boabe has a NDC for Francisca J. Francisca J. So then, and next year, Francisca J. birthday. I see. And you may banner what we show. Okay. What we see Francisca J. All right. And the Dihoye Phil, and the Ewa Woda. Happy birthday to you, Phil. Yankopon Shrao. Na. Diawi biano and koso and fama Phil. Happy birthday. God richly bless you with long life and good health. Semi Twaswa Mr. Obed Kwabena Apia of PCG Victory Congregation Ajinkwa Kaswa Liberia Camp. We free wa unia bema ho or say yan wishe umfemano Mr. Charles Ochery and the entire family and omo wishe wo happy birthday Mr. Obed Kwabena Apia our PCG Victory Congregation ewo Kaswa Liberia Camp. All right. Yen twaso de wa hanu ye Janet Ajua Kabuki Kabu. Janet Ajua Kabuki Kabu. And there Ewa Woda. We see you at the Ma Kitty Bridal. Osanso Echra dear. ɛwɔ PSC College leader or young ladies CAC. And so we post those pa mini aba. We ɛna asafo ni nyinaa no ɛne youth a ɔmo wɔ hɔ no ɛde ma wɔ mo wish you happy birthday Janet Adwoa Kabuki Kabu. Mo wish you happy birthday. Say Yakopon shall more blessings and grace. The chat to ɛwɔ ha na my senior comrade Abba Abe wish Francisca Moni ebusiafo no birthday nso yɛ Isabella Annan and there ɛyɛ wawoda and me wish you happy birthday Yakopon nhyira na dia wo yɛ bia no nso enkoso ankoyi oma wodel endoso ni apomodin so eka ho. Enjoy your day Isabella. I'm sure. All right, senior.
Okay. Mefa akwenya wesu and then I wish Francisca a very happy birthday.
Yeah.
And then Ishmael Seidu Mumuni. I also wish you a very happy birthday. And my sister Kokoi.
I see.
Yes, I also wish you a happy birthday. Prissy Ekuyadia Penahimat. I also wish you and Aketeboge. Aketeboge so. And finally, Tay Richard Atoklu. Happy birthday to all of you guys.
All right, Yabusia, ye damase said that no money.
My man wishes Sylvester Gabiano. This week in the birthday, February, I will celebrity.
And that's why Friday, dear. And so much to me. And so much to me, my dear.
So,
it is a 7-year group before Cracker.
I see.
Sylvester, all the best.
Okay. All right.
Continue to age gracefully.
All right. Ti ebusia ye do bibia sese wo gibre na dapemu nyina free dwada besi efia da woni etena Ctv Dwabo dwumedie so na oni edinsa wo so de ye kan a anya wo de no feche na ye nkoye nim de ye wo de no so fe ye adwuma ene efutu aba epunu yechi dapemu nyina no fe ye adwuma na Ghana enkoso anko nanim we enjoy your peace ya enjoy maminda external natural clinic for asese omoso ya sinema ye de apomudin komodi no e de brel sanso na ye da Blue Medical Center for us. Blue Medical Center said Mekano. Omo East Legon 21 Lagos Avenue. Pantimpone so. Uno munko din sa waswo. Apomudin ahawbia wubiano. Fekoho na omo beboa. Fre womu e was 0202020515. Na bibia enko enfamao. Bella kwaso say oyo dewa wuside bien. Healing Together Vigil no baso 31st October ewo Alliance Française Jibre anyuntufo ba poetry recitals tuemu wo ho comedy kakra chese bibia bi enti boanan na hyene nso 31st October ewo Alliance Française na kona onu omunkodi nsa woso ewo ho mamida production team ni nyina se ne empanifo a omobo ye chidom a ye di dwumedi e de bre mamida menia bema odi asempa kwame apomesu ase se dani dan na oba be kansa na ye di dwuma from the press kurakra temu moboso no ye de basanso na meda minia ba ohene wa kese boahene ase se osinkunwa ni apomudin komodi ni abrabomu nsem ni nyina nso de ba nyame ya adom na adom bidum ye adwada ye besen hia weekend take good care of yourself na yakopon kra ye nyina ye dem ase medin Dr. Kofi Annan.